Hey guys, how you going? Well, before I go to bed, I thought I would share a review with you all. Hope you're all doing very well, whatever time it is in your part of the day. I hope you have a smile on your face and you're keeping happy. So the film I'm going to be reviewing isn't a horror film, but it does have a very scary sort of feel to it. It was made in 1995. It's a French film. It has French language with English subtitles, but don't worry, if that's not your thing, there is an optional English dub. Personally, I go for the original language, but I know some of you might not appreciate subtitles, so an English dub is an option, so there is something in it for you as well. It was directed by, as I said, it was made in 1995, directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Marc Caro. Now, these two are very famous for Delicatessen and Amelie. Amelie was much later, but Delicatessen and this film were very close together, so they were made quite a while ago. And this film I'm talking about is The City of Lost Children. Now, the story is as follows. The City of Lost Children is a dazzling fantasy adventure from Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Marc Caro, creators of Delicatessen. They bring their surreal vision to the story of Crank, a tormented scientist who sets about kidnapping local children in order to steal their dreams and so reverse his accelerated aging process. When Crank's henchmen kidnap his brother, local fisherman and former circus strongman One, played by Ron Perlman, sets out on a journey to Crank's nightmarish laboratory, accompanied by Manette, who is an orphan. So basically what we have, it's set in a very surreal sort of world, and this lonely, angry, sort of twisted scientist named Crank, he can't have dreams, so he's never really had the ability to have imagination. So this has caused him to accelerate in his aging process. So this comes across as a very sort of serious problem. So he finds a solution to this. He kidnaps children and takes them back to his laboratory, where his henchmen hook them up to this machine, and when they dream, Crank steals those dreams so they can become his. And so he sees this as a way to combat his problem. So one day, there's quite a few children who have gone missing, been kidnapped, but one day Crank's henchmen kidnap this little kid named Donry. Now, Donry's brother, who is a much older man, played by Ron Perlman, he is this a former circus strongman, and he's a lot of brute strength. He doesn't talk much in the film, which is probably a good thing, but he's kind of simple but very, very strong. So he obviously takes offense to what Crank has done, obviously kidnapping his little brother. So he sets out with this orphan named Miette, and they set out to the City of Lost Children in hope not only to find Donry, but find all the other kidnapped children as well that are being used for their dreams. So that's as far as I'm going to go with the story. And you're probably wondering, what kind of story is this? And that's exactly what I was thinking to start with. But I got this one because I've seen Amelie and Delicatessen beforehand, and I thought if this one was anything like them, I was in for a treat, so I had high expectations. But my expectations with this one were exceeded. This is an absolute masterpiece on a technical level. The direction, the creative flair was absolutely flawless. One of the most creative films I've ever seen. Now, it's kind of like you are in a dream. It's a very surreal world, and it's just really, really bizarre. You've got inside Crank's laboratory, you've got Dominique Pignon, who is a very famous French actor. He plays, I think it was the son of the evil son. There's seven of him. They're all cloned. Don't know why you needed seven clones, but there are seven of him, and they act really weird, and it's just really, really quirky and sort of, it's just out of this world. And then you've got the little mother. I think she was, I don't know what she was, but she was very, very, very small. So I guess you could say she was kind of like a dwarf, but she was different. She was just a very sort of, she looked very, very weird. So it was more, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but watch the film and you'll know what I mean. And then you've got this brain-like thing that's in this fish tank that kind of calls the shots. So this thing inside this tank that's talking is kind of running everything. And Crank is basically so depressed about his condition and the fact that he's never been able to use his imagination or dream that he kind of is obsessed with these children and what they are thinking. So overall, the story is just pure imagination at its finest. You kind of think to yourself, am I on some kind of drugs? Have I unknowingly sort of taken something? Because that's the kind of feel you'll get from this film. Uh, The acting was good. I like the fact that Ron Perlman didn't have too much dialogue, because I feel that he is not a very good actor. If if you don't agree, well, each to their own. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't like the guy. But I thought he played a really good role in this one as the simple sort of guy. I know that's a bit of an insult to his acting talent, but I just don't feel he's one of the most talented actors out there. Now, there are scary scenes in this one that will freak out little children, but it's not extreme. It's very mild. So I'm afraid that for all my French extreme horror fans, this is not for you. But if you still want something that's very morbid and twisted, but a film that I wouldn't say young children can watch because they might get nightmares. But if you just want something very mild after you've watched an insane sort of brutal film, then this is definitely one for you, because it's one of a kind. And Jean-Pierre Jeunet has become one of my favourite directors, and this one is better than Delicatessen and Amelie, although it's very close. He just keeps on. Well, I think this was his first film. It's either this one or Delicatessen, but all of his films have been great, and this one's no different. And as I said, there is a dub version, but I would strongly recommend you see the French. There's some really funny moments in this one as well. You just watch to see for yourself. I don't want to spoil anything, because you watch this one, you're in for a real treat, because I was blown away by it. I had to watch it again straight away, and I will watch it again very soon, because it's just one of those films that you can never get sick of. A very, very, very good French film that I highly, highly recommend. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll see you later.